As I get older, I learn so much about this life and the world around me, and it doesn't come from the absolute rubbish in the mainstream media, which I consider the matrix that I no longer want to be a part of. In today's video, I'm going to talk about an interesting topic that I had learnt about roughly 4 years ago, and that is there is people called star children. But before I get into that, hello and welcome back, or welcome to my channel. If you don't know what is going on here, I am a horror artist and I like to draw an illustration that is inspired by the topic that I am talking about. Nothing in this video is meant to be insensitive to anyone mentioned. I am just bringing you information that I have researched and that I have found. I will be held accountable for the art that I do draw, but if you are sensitive, I recommend not being anywhere near my channel. I have warnings at the front, so that's on you, and my videos are probably not for you. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So, what do I mean when I say star children? Well, these types of children were first observed in the 60s and started to become more popularized in the 90s. These children are born with abilities such as telepathy, supernatural powers, are more empathetic, and will tell their parents that they are not from here. Their home is in the stars, and they want to go back home, back to their star system. And this starts at a very young age, usually as they begin to talk. They have a very good recollection of their life in other star systems, on other planets, or even in a spaceship. Yes, think of Star Trek. Star children seem to see and hear things that normal people don't. Other characteristics of a star or indigo child is strong-willed, very strange, have a very strong sense of who they are and their purpose, have an interest in supernatural topics, spiritualism, and a massive interest in space and the planets, highly intelligent, high energy, have long periods of no sleep or eating, and don't like restrictions put on them. These may seem like general traits that any kid could have, but it's usually the manner in which the star children go about it. Some parents even go as far as to hide behind this when their child has a mental illness or disability, but these two things can be distinguished between, as long as you are not in denial. The biggest telltale is that they are psychic or show clairvoyant or clairsentient abilities, with recalling their past lives as well. So why are these children put on Earth if all they want to do is go home? Well, these souls are put here to awaken humanity and bring the frequency of Earth up to try and activate others in this realm. They will push to make a change in society, and no, not like the crap you are seeing in the news and the mainstream media. Actual proper and real change that does not get airtime by the mainstream brainwashing media. They are put here to try and snap people out of the trance of the sociopath elites that will push topics that will scare people into keeping our vibration on this earth low, such as fear-mongering and lies, because without a scared human race, we will rise up and not be told what to do by the unelected sociopaths. Star children have the abilities to have profound insight into humans and how they work, and are able to see the truth clearly with their own free will, with no influence. Because of their old-like souls, they find it hard to fit into the mainstream narrative. They will expose the truth and the lies. They see through the illusions, and it's something that cannot be taken away from them. It's wired into their DNA. When presented with a piece of information, they analyze it and want the exact truth, and become obsessed with it, and you can't pull the wool over their eyes. Star children are highly creative in whatever they are doing, such as singing, drawing, building, crafting, etc., and they love the fact that they can express themselves in that way. Animals are attracted to them in a good way, and they too love and have a deep connection with animals and nature. A star child would always choose spirituality over religion as well, because they see religion as hiding the truth, and spirituality is not diluted or changed to fit yet another narrative. They are said to be from different parts of the universe that have been gathered up to be put here for a purpose. They will question at a very young age, why are we here? What's the meaning of life? Why was I born? Why do we suffer here? I actually started questioning these at the age of 5 as well. So maybe I might be a star child, but I don't really know because I had a lot of this sort of thinking. If you discover that you may be a star child or you have a star child, there are some ways to cope with your findings. Meditation, creatively expressing yourself that nourishes your soul, spend time in nature and ground yourself. A lot of the star children on this planet are in their 20s and 30s right now, but there may be more in the newer generation that were born in the Alpha generation. Generation Alpha are or will be born from 2010 to 2024 and are said to be the change on Earth. This generation is described as old souls with old ways infused with some modern twists to all genres on Earth and for the bettering of humanity, and will hopefully bring peace on Earth. Now there is always going to be the stupid ones among them that want the most left-wing rubbish, but it's apparently going to be a good generation. Well, we shall see in the future. I need to witness this for myself. Now, the age of Aquarius that kicked off in 2020, which I was extremely excited for, is the age of the truth. That's why we are seeing all the bullshit that the elites are spewing because of this age of truth and the influx of star children that have been brought onto this planet for this very moment. There are more coming because of the age of Aquarius. There is allegedly star children being born at record rates since 2018 to 2019. These children will be called the rainbow children. These star children will have more abilities than their predecessors, the indigos and the crystal. Indigos gave birth to the crystals, and the crystals gave or will give birth to the rainbows. Star children started coming to Earth at the beginning of the 1900s. About 1950 to 1970 saw the most indigos, which is first generation, come through in a massive wave. These changed the laws and injustices at the time. They set up the internet and the technological revolution. The crystal children, which is the second generation, started coming down from around the 1990s, but some did arrive earlier in the 80s. They want love and peace on this earth. These children find it hard to conform in classrooms, and these are the best for mind communications. So these particular children will be able to be telepathic and communicate in this sort of sense. To live as a star child on Earth is extremely uncomfortable and challenging as they vibrate at a higher frequency, so they will try to lift the vibration on Earth to make it bearable. A lot of star children will be drawn to gemstones that will help with this. Edgar Cayce, aka the Sleeping Prophet, predicted in the 1930s that an influx of star children will grace the Earth between 2002 and 2015, and this generation will be the pinnacle with stronger telekinesis abilities than their predecessors, and they will be able to manipulate time and space. I won't go into Edgar Cayce because this video is going to be long enough as it is, and there is a lot to unpack with this guy. But if you are curious about him, research him because he is absolutely fascinating with his powers of prediction, which usually came to him while he was sleeping and in his dreams, hence the name the Sleeping Prophet. There may be star children that are evil, and these are here to wreak havoc, and they are called the Black-Eyed Children. Now, I did a video on these evil demonic things, so check it out at the end of the video. I will have a link. Now, just a quick rundown on these evil star children. They have black eyes, aged between 6 to 14, want to get into your car or house and usually try to gain access through manipulation, saying that they are hungry, thirsty, or waiting for their parents, but say it with a coldness about them. New theories suggest that these evil beings could be hybrids from the grey aliens, hence the all-black eyes. The only good thing about them is they won't try to break into your house or car. They will just go away if you tell them to. But if you let them in, they will suck the life out of you. Some examples of star children is a boy, well, he's actually a 32-year-old man now, named Dainayw, who is an American physician with an IQ of 200 who graduated from the School of Correspondence at the age of just 9 years old. At the age of 12, he went into the University of Chicago to do his medical scientific training program and was awarded a doctorate in molecular genetics and cell biology, becoming the youngest person at age 21 to graduate with an MD from a university. Another kid named Adam Kirby was the youngest Mensa High IQ member at the age of just 2 years old. He had an IQ of 141 and was just 29 months old when he read a potty training book and taught himself to use the potty. He was able to spell 100 words and knew his timetables up to 10 and knew all the planets in the solar system and the periodic table. So, what do you think about star children? Do you think they exist? Do you think that they could be linked to the stars and extraterrestrials? I do think that they exist and that they have the abilities that the collective human race has forgotten about and that we do possess, but we just don't tap into them. They're just blocked from all the bullshit that's in our foods, in our water. We have just been totally distracted as well. Do you think someone you know could be a star child, or are you one yourself? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your opinions on this particular topic. I have a lot of opinions on this topic, and I actually will be covering some of this in a future video, which will go into depth on why these particular people are here and why certain people remember their past lives and some don't, and it all is revolving around a particular alien interview that was done way back, but that is all I'm going to say about it. That video that I'm talking about will be coming out in the next couple of weeks, and yes, it will, if you're not very open-minded, it will blow your mind, so stay tuned for that one. So the illustration that I decided to do for this video today was of a star child that is wanting the truth and is going to basically obtain the knowledge regardless. So the helmet on his head is my representation of the intelligence and the awareness that these particular beings hold, because you got to remember that these particular people are very spiritually aware of who they are, where they come from, and are trying to advance us and make us wake up as well, which I will, like I said, talk about in the future video about, you know, my theory and a theory that is floating around out there about that particular subject. This particular star child is wearing a shirt that says "The elite suck, delete the elite," as you've probably heard floating around. That's a particular saying at the moment. And this being is also slaughtering some of these particular people that are doing us wrong and keeping us enslaved in this particular society. We are finally sort of coming up and wanting the truth about what is actually going on in life. Why are we here? What is going on? Like, why are you hiding our truth and our history from us? We need to know. We want to know. We want to know what really happened here on Earth, and sort of stop enslaving us and stop trying to control us, because we don't want to be controlled. And that's what this illustration is displaying from these particular star children that are here. They want this. They don't want the crap that these people are carrying on with. So the elites are on the ground and they're represented by the ties around their neck. As you can see, one's got a yellow tie and one's got a blue tie, and they've been cut in half and their guts are spilling out, but they're still trying to crawl and still trying to get away and try and enslave us even more. And then there is one head on the stick that's actually going through one of the other ones on the ground, and the head's been put onto the stick to make a to sort of symbolize and make a statement that this is what's gonna happen to you if you try and dictate to us what we want to do with our lives, basically. So the being in this illustration is just destroying that, and you'll see I've done like a very sort of washed out crowd in the background, and there's more people behind him backing him, and I personally believe that it is the majority of us that want this information. We want to know what is going on, and it's the minority that the media tends to push that is trying to control us and trying to push us in another way of thinking, which is not going to happen, especially not going to happen for me anyway, because I have always had my own thoughts, my own mind on this particular topic with what's going on here on Earth and all that sort of stuff, and where our origins are and where we come from, and that's not going to change my mind whatsoever, because I think that makes more sense than the bullshit that the mainstream media is trying to push. Now, this illustration actually took me a little bit to do. It's a lot more detail in it than I usually do, because I do like to keep a lot of my illustrations fairly simple. Sometimes I like to lash out and do a bit more of a detailed piece. But yeah, that usually depends on the subject matter of the video that I'm talking about and the time that I have in between, you know, my job and doing this and other stuff that I'm trying to work on as well. Also, you know, I'm also not an artist that does a lot of detailed pieces. I stick to very sort of cartoony, you know, just mutated, out of proportion type designs, because that's just what I like to do, and it makes me feel good. As I have said in a previous video, I enjoy drawing this type of illustration, and that's what comes to me naturally. I don't try to do anything else. There is a lot of mystery to life, and I really want to try and unravel it and try and understand a lot of what could potentially be behind the big smoke screen that we are being sold. And I have been doing my best to research as much as I can and look into it, and will be bringing you a lot of videos on this particular stuff because I find it absolutely interesting, and as I sift through a lot of the research that I've been doing on these particular topics, I just want to bring them to you so you guys are aware of what is out there. Whether it's true or not is another thing. It's very subjective, this sort of stuff, but it does resonate with me. It draws me to it, so I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling because I'm in a bit of a rambly sort of mood, so I will end it there. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the illustration that I did. If you like this kind of content, like, subscribe, do all the other, you know, crap that is needed to be done to stay in contact with when I upload, or stay in contact with, you know, what I'm doing. If you like this stuff. So I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you watch what is left of this video to see how the illustration turned out. And I am going to go, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!